where visionaries, entrepreneurs, and artists dream, transform, and create. You are listening to the Miracle Moment podcast, where your breakthrough is a moment away. I'm your host, Irelan. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Miracle Moment. Today, we have Camila Fandino here to join us as a guest speaker, and she's going to be sharing about how to attract high-level clients that are an easy yes. And we are flowing right into the new year, into January, into 2023. So what better time than to call in ease and abundance? So that is going to be our focus for today. To share a little bit more about Camila, she combines almost 2 decades of entrepreneurship and corporate sales, marketing, and project management with a passion for helping entrepreneurs achieve fulfillment. So as a mentor, Camila understands the unique balance between energy, mindset, and strategy to have this lasting success in business. And this has led her to build sales teams, becoming a leading sales trainer, generating multiple 7 figures in the high ticket coaching space and consulting fields. She's also a badass mama with a little 1-year-old son. And she has also moved and lived all around the place. I think you've moved like 42 different times, which is insane. And now settling in Texas. So this mamapreneur powerhouse is going to be just dropping some gems, I know. So thanks so much for being here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for that introduction. I love it. Thank you. So glad to be here.
Yeah. So let's kind of just drop into, I just shared, all the amazing stuff that you're doing now, but can you tell us a little bit about your story? How did you get here?
So I got here. I always had this seed that was planted in my heart for wanting to help people and wanting to help, improve their lives. And I always had this entrepreneurial bug, and I didn't know that, coaching was a thing that people did. And so I was going about, my corporate career, just kind of happy with that. But I always felt that something was missing, and I knew that I could be making a much bigger impact by helping people in a different way. And so almost by chance, I, kind of stumbled on the personal development and coaching areas. And I just knew I landed where I needed to be. I wanted to be. I immersed myself in everything and anything personal development related, and really wanting to improve myself and preparing myself to become a coach. And so I went through a lot of different trainings and coaching and mentorship and one-on-one and groups and all of that. And then eventually I was like, you know what, I'm ready to dive in. I started out more in the health related area, more in like health coaching, but eventually I'm a business girl at heart. I love sales. It's just what I do. And I really missed it. So I jumped back into that area now, but in coaching. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I ended up here. I worked with some really high level teams as well. And then I've also just, created my own business and created my own flavor in my own little corner in the coaching world that has allowed me to do some really cool things for my own business and for myself, but also helping and supporting other people, and more specifically women, because I feel there's such a gap still between what's taught in sales traditionally and what people actually, what feels good to them. And this applies to men and women, but for women, there's just such a gap. And so they go without serving as much as they could, or without getting and receiving as much as they could from their businesses, just because they're so afraid of appearing salesy or like being too forward. So that's been a big focus in my career.
I love that. So yeah. It's so funny. As you were talking, I was like, she has mama eyes. And what I mean by that is that and I'm like stepping into this myself, where it's like some things I don't focus on. And I really focus on the good and what's beautiful and what's in front of me, because it's just like, okay, we don't have time to focus on the craziness and the poop and this and that, all this sort of stuff. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, such a great story. But has it always been that easy? You share it so gracefully. And I'm like, how was it for you to like get to that point of such grace and ease and like clarity in your focus and direction?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely not a straight line. And there was definitely a lot of poop along the way before bringing the motherhood piece of it. It is so not a straight line. And I just want to be really transparent and honest. There's been times where I've been, literally and figuratively, kind of like in the fetal position, just wondering, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And how do I get out of this? Like, how do I get to the next level? I just want to like burn everything to the ground. Am I doing the right thing? Just really questioning things. And I feel that as an entrepreneur, like it challenges every part of who you are personally, like, and it also puts you in touch, like it's a mirror to all of your biggest fears. And so it's a journey of courage. You have to face the things that really scare you the most. And that happens in other areas as well. I feel in relationships and in motherhood as well. It's absolutely, but business, it's such a mirror. And so unless you're willing to face your fears and your inner demons and the things that scare you the most, you're not going to come out on the other side saying, oh my gosh, I made it and I have a business that I love. It doesn't just happen. You have to do so much internal work for sure. So it's definitely not been, an easy journey. There's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been times of pause. There's been times of reassessing myself and my desires, and just what I want to do next, or, how I'm going to proceed. But then the thing that I've always had and that I've cultivated is self-trust. Really trusting myself and trusting that I know where I'm going and I'm being guided. Like there's a bigger internal, just there's a guiding system that is leading me where I want to go and where I need to go and where I'm needed the most. And so that self-trust has like never failed me. Even when other things will work, that's been one of the most powerful things for me.
I love hearing that because I can so relate. And I think especially for me going through the journey of pregnancy and then, like new motherhood, I've been in a state of pause in some ways in my business. And there's been certain things that have continued. There's like a little thread, but definitely not the full wave of power and influence and impact that, I was creating before. And the thing that has kept me connected to my vision of what the future can hold with business and impact and leadership has been this thread of self-trust and just knowing, okay, I can pause because I know that this is bigger than this moment itself. And so I kind of want to tie this into the high ticket sales, because this is a question that I get often. And I jumped into high ticket sales pretty quickly in the coaching space, just because that's what I was attracted to. I never wanted to hire a more like low end coach. I kind of just went pretty quickly into the high level space. And I was like, oh, that feels good. And so I've always had a lot of questions around, well, how are you charging this much? And all sorts of stuff around that. So I'm curious on your end, like what was your journey into you claiming and embodying, bringing in high level clients? And yeah, like what was your personal journey with that? And then I want to go into, any tips and tricks that you have for others that are in that space.
Absolutely. So one of the things, that I really focused on was an understanding that, sales is just simply a transfer of emotions. And when it comes to the work that we do, it's really about providing so much value. So there's all of the feminine, energy side of things to sales and to coaching and to the work that we do. But then we also have more of the masculine and like the more results oriented, things that we have to focus on. I hear a lot of people talk about charging your worth. And I've never really, like, how do you quantify that?
Yeah,
You're endless.
Totally.
it's so crazy to me that you're endless. I'm endless. The possibilities in the world and with people, it just keeps going and going and going. And there's no amount or, dollar figure that's going to be able to cover my worth. So I've always kind of rejected that. But coming back to like the more masculine energy side of things is, what kind of value can I provide? And what is that worth to people? What is what I bring to the table and the problems that I can help to solve in someone's life? How much can that be worth to someone in their life? And so when I started thinking about that and really looking at my offers and anything that I put out there, any content or anything from that point of view, it just became so clear to me that I really have to be charging for what I'm providing, for the level of help and the level of problems that I can solve. Right. Mm-hmm. And so then just very organically, my prices just started coming up. It was kind of like coming from the intersection of the value that I provide for my clients and the problems that I help them to solve, and also my ability to receive at any given moment. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that you can kind of relate to. I see you kind of shaking your head a little bit. Like, right. Because even though my level of problems that I can help to solve for somebody, like they might be the same at any given time, my ability to receive can expand and grow, or like it can go either way, or it could just go exponentially, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is why sometimes you see prices just increase. Like, nope, now my container is going from, I don't know, $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 right away, and you just don't lose any clients, and like more people are showing up in your world because that alignment is really there.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that's kind of one of the keys to creating the ease in which attracting and bringing in high level clients would come from, would be the balance of owning the value in which you're providing, and then also matching that with your own personal expansion of what you can receive?
Absolutely. 100%. I would say that's such a big key, and it also brings in so much of the feeling into it, right? Because we have the objectiveness of, okay, this is what I can help solve very objectively. This is what I can do for my clients. But then also on the other hand, what feels good to receive is this, like, this is what I'm open to. Maybe if I have this amazing offer, but really all that I can really receive at this moment is, I don't know, $1,000, right? And that's perfect. That's the perfect price at that point. When you continue to get more external and internal validation that, hey, it's working. I love it. I get it. I feel so fueled by this work that I'm doing, and I can receive more, then that increases. And then you can command that pricing. Because one of the worst things that people can do is create an offer, have the offer be absolutely amazing, but not feel that they can own that. Mm-hmm. And then they try to charge X amount, and it's like, I can't get there. I can't sell it because I don't believe it. I don't feel that I can receive that right now. Mm-hmm. So it's just internal work of expansion that allows you to receive more and more and more.
Yeah, this is so good. So on this call or in this podcast, miracle moment, what I love to do is bring a miracle moment, a breakthrough moment here for our listeners. So something that I would love to hear from you is, what was one of the times where you had your biggest feeling of expansion, of abundance? Can you share what it was, what happened, what you felt like? Can you kind of drop us into your seat there so we can get a little bit of that frequency going in our bodies?
Yes, absolutely. So, and this was last year. There was a time in which I really was so, and again, like, I'm going to kind of pre-frame this by saying, like you, I've been going through the miracle of motherhood and pregnancy, and you go through such an awakening. That path into motherhood is so wild, and it really cracks you open in so many ways. And so at this time, like, I wasn't a mom. I wasn't like thinking about becoming a mom, none of those things. And I was just really solely focused on everything that was happening in the business. And the flow and the energy that I was in and the level of creativity, it was like expanding and just growing so fast. I was literally doubling my business every single month. It was wild. Like the speed at which things were happening was just really blowing my own mind. And it was like, it kept going and going and going and going and going. And it was really finding that, again, that trust within myself, knowing exactly who I was talking to and focusing on the people that I really wanted to attract into my world. Just knowing that, hey, I'm just going to trust if I show up, if I'm, really sharing from my heart and being truly authentic, the people are going to come. I had gotten to that level where that became easy. It wasn't always easy, but at that point, there was that level of flow that just felt so good in my body. And then later on, when I did get pregnant and there were so many changes going on, and I was like moving to Texas and all of that, my focus shifted a little bit more. And I just also want to say this because there's seasons to everything, right? So there was this big expansion and amazing things happening inside of my business. And then when I realized I'm going to become a mom and it's such a miracle, then like some of that energy transferred to, like going into motherhood and knowing that no matter what, it's okay. We're always learning. We're always growing. We're expanding, and it shows up in different ways, and it's always okay.
Oh, so yummy. Yeah, I feel that the piece that I can really connect to when I think about my like big abundance times as well. And exactly what you're saying with the seasons, there's been a deep level of trust in my own business and impact because I'm not showing up in the same way that I was a year ago or 2 years ago. But I do, one thing that I have been tuning into is the vibrancy, the frequency of momentum. And that's kind of what I was hearing from you. It's like, oh, it was doubling every single month. And this piece around when momentum starts kicking in, that's actually when the ease gets turned on. It's like you press the gas, and instead of when you like let go of the gas a little bit, you come to a full stop. You're going so much faster with so much more fuel that it actually just it rolls on its own. So okay, so with this theme, and we're in the new year, and we're talking about bringing in that ease. Can you maybe speak to those who haven't been feeling that momentum? What can they do to start generating that experience of momentum, so that way they can kind of feel into what the rest of the year can look like, so they can create that long term?
I love that. I love that question, especially right now that we're going into the new year and there's so many wonderful, beautiful expectations for what's to come. But it's also a scary time for some people because they're wondering, can I do this? Is this the year? Is this my year? Is this where things are going to work out? And it can be exciting and scary and intimidating at the same time. Honestly, the number one thing that I would say, in the biggest piece of advice for myself and for anybody else out there, is keep showing up, be consistent. It's so easy to just get scared and want to run away and want to burn everything to the ground. I mean, I've definitely been there, right? And it's okay. Sometimes you need the pause, or sometimes you need to do different things in order to come back even stronger, and that's totally okay. But as long as you keep consistent within yourself, what do you want? There's a seed of desire in your heart for a reason. That didn't get planted there just to, for you to glance over it and then keep going and ignoring it. It's not going to go away. So keep showing up for yourself, keep showing up for your passion, keep showing up for the things that matter to you, and be really consistent in your efforts. Even if you do take a break, it's like an energetic thing. It's more than anything, an energetic thing. Yes, it's showing up and posting and making offers and, connecting with the right people. It's about all those things, but it's also about keeping your energy very consistent to, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it happen. And I'm just going to keep showing up for myself and keep showing up for my purpose. So that would be the biggest advice I think that I could give. Be there for yourself and
Mm,
be there for the people that need you. Because there's people right now, I want you to know that, whoever's listening that need to hear this, there's people right now that are praying for you to show up in their lives right now. They
yeah.
need you, and if you don't show up and if you, just crawl back in a shell, you're leaving people behind that need you, need your support, need exactly what you bring to the table right now. So yeah, show up.
Beautiful, beautiful wisdom. I love the maturity in which you bring in terms of the connection to business. I think so many that are in sales or maybe have less experience than there's more of that like push and grind. And I just feel this maturity of this relaxed long game, and to bring that into your business, no matter what stage you're in, whether you're in the beginning, maybe a few years under your belt, 5 years under your belt, like remember this wisdom that it is a long game, especially, being an impact driven entrepreneur. Like, don't we all want to be doing this our whole lives? Like, what is the retirement plan? I I have no desire for that if you're actually doing what you love. So being able to find that consistency and connecting with the different seasons. So maybe that level of consistency and commitment, it could change drastically, but it's like, is it going to be a wave in certain seasons? Is it going to be a hurricane, or is it going to be just like this little whisper, this like thread or like soft breeze that kind of continues throughout all of the changes of life? And just even, stepping into motherhood, it's like such a beautiful, beautiful gift. And I truly believe that, money and abundance and all of that is great, but there's also these beautiful, quiet moments that has nothing to do with business. And those are the things that we want to soak up as well. So really being able to choose what our focus is at any given time, and also have some of those strings or some of those pieces of consistency just in place, just to create the grounded nature of entrepreneurship. While entrepreneurship can be just such a, thunderstorm and all the different weather changing all the time, just having that internal peace and serenity and knowingness within yourself to keep going, keep moving towards that vision.
Yeah, I love that. I love everything that you're saying right now. It's wisdom. It
Mm-hmm.
really is inner wisdom. And that's that inner knowing that I know where I'm going. I'm heading in the right direction. And I may not know all the things right now. There's lots and lots of strategy when it comes to sales. It's very important to know that. But when you know, and if you just know within yourself, I'm meant to change the world in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a massive impact. It may be a smaller impact that just, really hits a few people, or, a few hundred people or whatever in my business. But regardless, like when you know that, and you have that inner wisdom and that ability to be calm, no matter what storms are going on outside, and you still know where you're going, you're steady. That is, I don't know, it's divinity almost. It's just really knowing that everything is going to be okay. And you're here to serve a huge purpose in motherhood, in some cases, like it is for you and I right now. And even when it comes very, unexpected, it's not something that we planned, and it really changes us. It really fuels this creative, like your creative juices is just such an amazing thing. But now you're a mother, and then that can really impact and influence your business. It's such a beautiful dance.
It is.
And it's a challenging one. I'm not going to lie. It's, there's a lot of things that you have to figure out, and, the practical everyday things that you get to go through. But really, if you can set kind of like a theme for the year, right? What would that be? What is, or maybe, our listeners already, or your listeners already have that, and they already know what it is, but really committing to what the year is going to be for them. And then keeping steady with their commitment to themselves.
So good. Oh, well, let's end on that note. And our invitation, if you're listening, write it down, share it with some friends. What are you committing to? What kind of consistency, momentum are you wanting to create and bring into this year? So thank you so much, Camila, for being here with us today. Where can people find you and stay connected with you?
Yes, thank you. It's been so amazing to be here. I've loved this conversation. It's really gotten me so excited here to go into the new year. And the best place to connect with me is my group on Facebook right now. You can go, if you go to Facebook and you can just search for it. It's called the Money Lab, high ticket selling for female coaches and entrepreneurs. That's where a lot of the magic happens. That's where a lot of these big conversations, master classes, and, just people sharing all about their experiences in business, in sales, in motherhood. A lot of those conversations are happening there right now.
Okay, awesome. We'll have that in the show notes for everyone. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, and we'll see y'all soon.
Happy New Year. Yay. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet, so you can stay up to date for new episodes coming out soon. And remember to witness and acknowledge the miracles and magic in every moment. This is Irelan, and I'll see you soon.